be able to get started in real estate, especially as a final year student. Yeah, absolutely, Brennan. Yeah, you can definitely get started, right? That's the thing. Is good live. All right, guys.
Sorry.
No, all good. So I'm live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, TikTok. I'll be looking over here as well. Can you see the phone on YouTube?
Yes.
Not that it matters. At least people know.
Yeah.
Cool. So hey, YouTube. Hopefully enjoying your Wednesday. It's 12:30 Eastern time here. Live on TikTok. Going to be taking both questions. Going to be taking questions from both platforms. That's my French coming out. Amos are like Jacksonville, Flamingos like Miami, both birds, both Florida, you know. I do not know what that means. Dad energy. Big dad energy. I love that. On TikTok, I always get called dad and Mel gets called mom. I guess people think I'm old. I guess 34 years old is old now. But anyway, yeah, so YouTube, if you're just joining the channel, we haven't gone live in a while at the lunchtime hour. Again, it's just real estate Q&A. Love you too. Thank you. But yeah, so we're just going to be taking questions. I'll kind of be going back and forth. Matt's going to be letting me know the questions that come up on YouTube, so don't hesitate. I'll also be doing the questions on TikTok as well. That way, best of both worlds. And if you're watching us on YouTube, go follow us on TikTok. We do a bunch of different stuff there. It's at Investor Mel Dave. And if you're on TikTok, go follow us on YouTube because we do different stuff there that we can't do on TikTok. It's always at Investor Mel Dave on both platforms. Is it possible I just need some experience? Justin Lilly. I can help working online. I'm really far South African island, but I can work for free. Is it possible? Yeah, anything's possible. We have people in our office actually that are from South Africa. They immigrated here about not a month ago, 6 months ago. Anyway, they're from wherever Elon Musk is from. I forget where he's from, but they're like 45. Is Ganis?
Where Elon Musk is from?
Yeah, I forget.
Is he German?
He's from South Africa.
Oh, true.
I don't know. Yeah, like 40 minutes from that. Is it possible? Yeah, absolutely. Would you guys private lend to someone with a solid enter and exit plan to pay you back with interest? I'm not a lender. I like taking money and buying buildings, so I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Do you mind grabbing the doormat for the... Thanks, man.
Yeah, I got you.
Appreciate it. My 6-year-old left. I'm homeschooling. 6-year-old left and didn't close the door from the studio, but it's all good. Yeah, so again, guys, live on both platforms. Let us know. Have any water? I don't have any water. I just call JoJo. Let us know if you have any real estate investing questions. That's kind of what we do on these platforms, right? Mel and I went live probably about 3 hours last night, just answering real estate questions. I guess that's how you know you love real estate, when you're willing to go live that much. With all the interest you pay, are you worried about potential rate increase? Dexter's great question. This is something we get all the time. They'll say, Dave, you 100% finance your deals, you borrow private money, what type of interest rates do you pay, and are you worried about that, Dexter? So yes, I love this. What I do is I use my cash flow analysis matrix, okay? This cash flow analysis matrix allows me to underwrite the deals, which basically means you look at the deal and make sure that it makes sense. You underwrite the deals, just like the banks do, and I make sure to give myself that cushion in the deal, right? So am I underwriting the deal at like 2% interest, and if it goes up by 0.5, all hell breaks loose? No, I'm not underwriting deals that way. I'm making sure that if the deal jumps up, that, hey, I've got cushion in it, right? I'm putting different, can't think of the word I'm looking for. Not counterbalance. I'm putting different, I can't think of the word. But anyway, I'm making sure that I have those checks and balances so that if the interest rate does go up, my deal makes enough sense and can also cover the debt. It has enough of a debt coverage that it makes sense. So am I worried about it? Yeah, no one wants interest rates to go up. However, if it does, it just means that I'll make less cash flow, but the building still debt services itself. So hopefully that makes sense, Dexters. I have heard the term OPM, but can you give me an example of how to get the money? My favorite example, and Matt, you'll let me know if YouTube has any questions?
Yeah, I'm going to type to them and make sure that they feel safe enough to ask some questions.
Absolutely. Yeah, YouTube, if you have questions, ask away. I'm doing the TikTok as well, so I'll go back and forth. The easiest part that I've found is getting sellers, finding motivated sellers who they want to get out of their asset, right? They want to liquidate their asset, and I love my thumbnail. I just got the email of the thumbnail. That's awesome. Whoops.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough first three.
You know what? I love it. I love it. I love it. We're doing it. And that's my phone on YouTube. Anyway, my 6-year-old was playing with it before he left.
Oh.
So yeah, guys. So seller financing is the best, and I shouldn't say the best. I love all types of other people's money of OPM. However, seller financing is a win-win, right? You get into an asset with none of your own money, right, or very little of it, and then the seller gets to sell their building, right, which is what they want to do. They want to get out of the asset. They also help themselves tax-wise, right? And what do I mean by this? Think of this. Let's take a $1 million building, just easy numbers. Let's take a $1 million building, and let's say they hold a second mortgage for you of 30%. So that is $300,000, okay? So $300,000, the other $7,000 they're gonna get from a financial institution. Now, when they sell the building, no matter if they're holding financing or if they're selling it outright, there's gonna be capital gains. You can't run away from that unless you're in the States and you apply the 1031, which I'm not gonna get into here. Now, capital gains, something no matter what you can't run away from. However, the other portion, so that $1 million that they would have received, is going to get added on. If they own it personally, it's going to get added on to their personal tax, which is going to increase their total income, and they're going to get hammered at that higher level. So now, instead of having the $1 million at the higher level getting taxed on it, and I'm not an accountant or a lawyer, so do your own research here, but they're only going to get $7,000, which is still a lot. So that $300,000, instead of it also getting added on to that higher tax rate, they're going to hold a mortgage for you, so they're not actually receiving that money, so they don't get taxed on it. So they're holding a mortgage for you, so they don't get taxed on it yet. And what they do is they can hold it over 5 years. So it's kind of like spreading the love is what I call it, because they're going to get taxed on it as they receive it in those 5 years, and they're going to make interest on it. So seller financing is the, well, in my opinion, the best OPM. Yeah, if you're on the YouTube, again, make sure to like the channel, subscribe, hit the bell. Tomorrow, what video are we releasing tomorrow, Matt?
It's a Dave show.
Yes, the Dave show. We're going to be talking about the UBI, Universal Basic Income, and crypto. You're right, and some of the federal budget stuff. So make sure, yeah, guys, hit the bell to get notified, so when it comes out, you will know. What's your YouTube channel name? Always at Investor Mel Dave. Anywhere we are on Insta, I think we're on Twitter. I don't know. The team takes care of it. For sure on YouTube, for sure on TikTok. It's always Investor Mel Dave. So at Investor Mel Dave. Just had people hold $2 million mortgage for me at 26 years old with $450,000 down. Boom. There you go. That's awesome, Miller. Love it. So that's what I mean. People think, oh, you must just get lucky and do it. No, we do it. The people we have in our mentorship program, the Action Family, they're doing it. Miller 690 is doing it as well. That's what I mean, guys, is seller financing. People will come to me with the notion all the time. Dave, I know it works for you where you are, but it won't work for me. It doesn't work in this market. Whatever reason you want to tell yourself, get it out of your head, because it does work. People, just because you're not doing it in your market, in your area, doesn't mean other people's doesn't mean other people aren't doing it. Okay, so take that mindset and shift it. It's being done. It's happening. So you might as well jump on it and learn it.
I got a question.
You got a question on YouTube? Let's go YouTube.
MFX11 says, what are some golden nuggets you could give about real estate investment in Canada?
Some golden nuggets about real estate investing in Canada. Okay, so one thing for all our Canadians here, and again for our Americans, we love you as well, but for all our Canadians here, just know that the online is flooded with a lot of American content. Okay, just for example, one thing to just talk about. I mentioned it earlier. The 1031 exchange. Okay, so 1031, that is a U.S. only, and you'll go on and you'll ask capital gain questions online, even if you YouTube it, and then Canadians will think, oh, well, I don't have to pay taxes. I'm just going to 1031 it. You can't. It just doesn't exist here. So for all my Canadian friends out there, just know the difference. A lot of great content. A lot of things can translate from Canada to the U.S., but a lot of things don't as well. And if you're planning your exit strategy, if you're planning on selling a building and that you think you're going to 1031 it, and then you realize, oh, I have to pay taxes no matter what. It's an income property. There is no 1031. That's a big mistake. So those are the nuggets I would make sure you look to make sure the content you're looking at applies to the actual market or country that you're in. Skips my question. Aiden Palazan, what's your question, Aiden? Side hustles for 15-year-olds. I would say donate your time to people that are in the field that you want to get into. Or just do like everyone else is saying online, sell couches or flip sneakers, or I don't know. I never really did that. I was always kind of hustling on the real estate aspect or more that type of thing. I was trying to gain knowledge because I knew I was going to have real estate one day. I have 10K, what can I do with it? I would invest in yourself. If I had $10,000, if I was going back and I had $10,000, I would invest in myself. And what do I mean by that? People will come to me all the time and say, Dave, I have 10K. Shouldn't I just buy a property with that money? Okay, you could. But then with that, after that $10,000 is done, what are you going to do? How many more properties can you buy? Hopefully you bought the right one. Hopefully it cash flows. Hopefully you did your due diligence so there's not major problems that all of a sudden you're into structural or you're into legal or you're into zone. Like there's so many things that can go bad. Are you up to code? All these things. You don't know what you don't know, right? So what I would say is get educated. And I'm not saying go to college, university. Hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't have any credentials to my name. I have no letters after my name. It's getting, Mel and I have now spent over 150,000, probably two, actually, I keep saying 150, but it's been probably over $200,000 on mentors and on our own education, not post-secondary, just on mentors and real estate investing and business and mindset and coaching and all that. So that's what I would spend it on, because then I wish I spent more money sooner because it would have come back to me even quicker. Do you have any book recommendations for real estate business? And if I'm a person who likes philosophy, don't I have books here? You see them?
Yeah. I got my dad.
Can you pass me both of them, Matt?
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt, I'm kind of asking the world over here.
That's okay. I just got my dad reading on it.
I think it'd be good at real estate because I'm good at human interaction. Yes. Hello, Dave. I'm wondering if you ever have a mentoring program or internships available. Yeah, we have a mentorship program. Actually, this one. Oops, I'll leave this one. So this one is... Yeah, we've got ours. I'm not trying to push our book. I'm not that cheesy. But this one, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, this is going to sound really cliche, guys. If you have not read this book as a real estate investor, it's just mindset. I listen to it all the time still. It just talks about debt, mindset. Rule number 1 in this is the rich don't work for money. And it'll blow your mind. It blew my mind when I read it. I was on holidays in Florida. We were on a family trip, and I read it in 2016, and I used to be a full-time firefighter that took every shift possible. They had names for me because I took so many shifts, right? And I read this book, and I never took an overtime shift again. I actually told them to take me off the list because I will never come in over and above the shifts that I have. So it's a very big philosophy book, guys. It teaches you about debt, and it teaches you about leverage, which is so important. Hello, Dave. I'm wondering, yeah, so that was the one. Thanks, yeah, 100%. Shalavi, bro. I have $28,000 in student loans and still going for a second diploma. Still, advice. What I would say is just make sure your and this sounds so. Just make sure your diploma is applicable in what you want to do, or is a field in demand. Like, I think for my 1 year of schooling, I spent $20,000 for my my firefighter certificate. It was a 9-month course, but it paid off. I spent $20,000 in 9 months. I got my pre-service firefighter blah 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 course from Algonquin College in Ottawa, and then I went on to be a firefighter for the next however many years I was. So the money paid off, right? But just make sure that if you are going to school for something, that there is a demand for it and that you will be able to use it. That's my advice, but to each his own with schooling, guys. Now, the one thing I'm going to say to you is, Sheila Avbro, we get this question a lot. Dave, okay, and I want to put this out here. People seem to put, what do you call it? Student debt. People put student debt in this totally different category, okay? Like, people will contact me all the time and say, you know, they never ask me, hey, Dave, I have a mortgage on a property, or hey, Dave, I've got a huge car payment, or hey, Dave, I've got a huge line of credit payment. They never contact me and ask me that and say, is this still a good idea to invest? But they always, and I'm not saying you asked this, Shayla, but I'm just saying they always ask me, hey Dave, I have student debt. Should I still invest? And it always kind of blows my mind because I'm like, why do they see that as a totally different animal or totally different? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, because I never get that. People have car payments all day, every day, but they never ever call me and say or talk to me and say, I've got a car payment, Dave. Should I still invest in real estate? Not once have I ever had that question, but I've had it so many times about student debt. So to me, they're both debts. You need a car, and in some fields you need education. So, oh yes, my buddy Matt, I love it. Making sure that I ask you to like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. We drop at least one, probably 2 videos every single week. If you haven't checked it out, Mel did her Woman of Action yesterday, right? On Tuesday.
Yeah.
Today we do the live, and then tomorrow we're dropping a Dave show. We're going to talk about the universal basic income suggested, here in Canada, and Bitcoin. But yeah. Oh, and if you're on TikTok, make sure check out the YouTube page, like and subscribe. Like the channel, subscribe, hit the bell. It's at Investor Mel Dave. You're gonna see from TikTok, there's so many different videos we do on YouTube that we can't do, right? There's 10-minute videos. We had an arson fire. Did that one come out yet?
Yeah, that was last
Yeah.
week.
So last week we had a video of an arson fire. The tenant actually lit his mattress on fire, burnt the whole unit down in a 7-plex of mine. Go check out that YouTube page or that YouTube video. And same thing with YouTube. Again, you'll see on TikTok we do so many different videos that we just can't do on YouTube. Now there's something else I was going to mention. The Bitcoin. When we shot the video, Matt, on Bitcoin, was I up or was I down there?
You were up. That was the one where you went to bed.
Yes.
And you woke up and it was like, oh.
Yes. So this is why I love real estate. Again, I still invest in Bitcoin, but I have almost a hate relationship with Bitcoin. And this is just, it's profit, but it still goes down. So when I shot the video last week, overnight I woke up and my Bitcoin was up by $12,000. Okay, so the profit had gone up by $12,000. Awesome, right? And then I think it was 2 days later, it had gone down by $30,000, which, anyway, that's why I'm kind of still, I'm not skeptical about Bitcoin, but I don't really consider it an investment. I just kind of have it.
Cindy on YouTube says she has no debt, 30,000 in savings, doing nothing in savings. What can I do to start?
Oh my gosh, Cindy. Okay. Sorry, I got excited there. Cindy, that's cool. You're in a great spot. So Cindy has, hopefully Cindy has $30,000 in savings doing nothing. And I bet you your saving account is paying you, what, 0.02 or not even 1%, right? Which, you don't have to answer that, Cindy, if you don't want to, but think about this. They're paying you 0. Whatever, or even if they're paying you 1%, which I doubt, inflation is somewhere around 2 to 3%. Okay, so like go big picture with me here. Every single year, inflation, that same dollar has less and less value because inflation goes up by 2 to 3%. Now, and I know you know this, Cindy, but I'm just saying this for everyone's benefit. Now, if your money is sitting in a savings account, not even earning at least 2 to 3, it's actually losing money. Like, and the first time I started, I kind of put my head around this it kind of blew my mind. But so follow me here, Cindy. By not doing anything, your money's actually decreasing in value every single year. Now, that being said, there are so many people, so many real estate investors that are constantly looking for funds like you, liquid funds like that, like the $30,000. We all want to see those. Don't ignore it. Bazookas. TikTok. What was I saying? But yeah, so you're $30,000. Let's take me for an example, okay? I'm a real estate investor. Let's just use easy numbers. And let's say you invest, you were to give me $30,000 and you were to say, Dave, I'm going to lend you $30,000. I know you're going to use it. You're either going to go renovate an apartment with it, fund to flip basically, or you're going to take it and use that as a down payment or towards a down payment. I'm going to lend it to you for a year, and I'm going to give you, and I want 10% interest. Let's just keep it easy, okay? So on that $30,000 that is typically staying in your bank account, making you, what, a couple of dollars every single month with your saving account, if you were to lend it to a real estate investor such as me, making, and let's use easy numbers, 10%, you would make $3,000 that year. What is that? Do you have a calculator, Matt? What's 3K divided by 12 roughly? I'm lazy. I don't feel like thinking with my brain.
$250.
$250?
Yeah.
Cool. So you made a couple of dollars with the savings account, the high savings account from the bank. Thanks, man. And then now you can make $250 every single month, right? 3K. So, Cindy, if I was you, and I'm not saying you have to do that, but I would look at getting into real estate passively. Okay, you don't have to own a building. You don't have to have tenants calling you. You can find people who actually want to own buildings, and then you can lend it to them. Or you can go to a mortgage broker and say, I have funds that I want you to lend out in the form of mortgages. They'll be happy to help you. I go to mortgage brokers all the time, and people, they have money that they want to lend out. So that's what I would do, Cindy. Okay. Blah, blah, blah.
And Cindy says she follows you on TikTok.
Nice. Thank you, Cindy, for following. Okay, thank you. Now, have you liked, subscribed, and hit the bell to be notified on YouTube? If not, please do. And if you do, thank you very much. Okay, I'm confused. Thank you, Market Dio, for following the host. My goal is to have 200,000 followers on TikTok by the end of the month, and I think we have 190. And YouTube, my goal, I think we have just over 4,000. I want to have 10,000 by, I think by July or so. I forget what Mel and I had put. So again, if you guys can help me achieve that, I would be forever grateful, guys. Okay. What's good, my man? I'm confused, though. I'm not knowing which field source I pursue. I actually just think in terms of commission. Not sure what you mean by that. Car industry or real estate? Well, I'm a real estate guy, so it's kind of a... Which one's worth? How do I improve my credit? I really need help. Hi from Montreal. Hey, Montreal. I love Montreal. I've been a few times. How do you improve your credit? I am not a credit professional. I am not a mortgage broker. I just know what I do. Basically, how do I say this? I don't want... Does my lawyer want me giving credit card information? My lawyer always wants me to cover my... I would just say educate yourself. There's a lot of apps out there. Like, okay, I still do this. Mel and I, just full disclosure, we have good credit scores, and I do this. There's so many apps out there that you can check your credit monthly. That's something we do. I'm literally, I check it probably every week. Like those, just on my app. I'm checking my credit every single week to see that there's no curveballs. I'm seeing my report just to make sure that there's nothing on there that doesn't make sense, or that there's no inaccurate information. Now, the other thing with these, I don't necessarily follow them, but there's also programs on there through these apps that will say, they call it like the coaching or something where you can walk through and do coaching with them. And they'll say, hey, your credit utilization is too high. If you drop it below X percentage, it's going to help your overall credit. So just do things like that, right? Or talk to a mortgage broker and say, hey, what would make... Like, look at my file right now. They'll look at your file. They'll see where you're at. Credit, whether your ratios, all that stuff. And then just say, Can I buy income properties right now? They say yes or they say no, right? Depending, this is a very vague scenario, but then just ask them, what needs to change on my credit, or what do I need to do in order to help you get me a mortgage with a financial institution or a hard money lender? They'll tell you, right? They'll let you know exactly, hey, if you didn't have this car loan, I've got you all day, every day. Or, hey, that's student debt, or boom. Or if you can make more money, if you can make more income on your T4 or your W2 in the States, perfect. Like, they can tell you that kind of stuff. Or, hey, your credit score is a little too low. If you make sure, I say you missed a couple of credit card payments, just even pay the minimum balance. Just never not make a payment, right? Just do this. Again, I'm not a credit person. I'm not a mortgage broker, so I don't want to pretend to be, but those are things I've heard in the past. Thanks for the advice, Dave. Absolutely. Pay on time and worthwhile things to the bank checks. Yes. Thank you. Absolutely, guys. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to probably say bye because I've got to go live with the Action Family, which is our mentoring program. We go live every single week. Oh, before I go, something very important. Probably should have said this before I go. Hey, handsome. Hello. Okay, thank you for the advice. Shh, don't tell Mel. What was I going to say? I lost track. Oh, if you guys are interested, okay, Mel and I put on a free webinar, and that's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're putting on a free webinar. It's going to be in the studio here. It's going to be probably an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. We're going to be talking about mindset. We're going to be talking about how we purchased, right? Last year during COVID, we purchased 119 units. I think it was just shy like 7 million, whatever, doesn't matter. 119 units, no partners, none of our own money, 100% OPM. How did we do that, right? That seems ludicrous. It's possible with certain strategies, okay? OPM. So tomorrow night, we're going to be showing you guys on the webinar, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you go to www, you have to put the W's, I don't know why, but anyway, you have to, I love OPM, ILOVE, OPM, right? Other people's money.com. www.iloveopm.com. You have to pre-register. We're going to analyze 4 deals with you. You're going to see deals that are 100% financed. You're going to see deals that are financial institution in the front and then owner second mortgage. You're also going to see the 4th deal, I think, is the seller held a first mortgage and we actually use someone's RRSPs, right? Their secured funds as a second mortgage. So we're going to go through all sorts of different deals. There's going to be Q&A at the end. And it's live. Everyone always asks me if it's live. Yeah, it's live. We're going to be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. iloveopm.com. Put the W's. Come chat with Mel and I. It's a good time. You actually see some pictures when I was a firefighter. But anyway, not that that matters. It's just younger pictures of Mel and I, and you'll hear more about our journey. You'll hear more about our story, and you'll see that we're normal people. We're just like everyone else. Anyone can buy real estate. Anyone can create financial freedom. If they know exactly how to do it through real estate and with proven strategies, you can do it too. So anyway, I'm not going to get all cliche on you. So thank you so much. Oh, we got a question?
We got one more question.
One more. Juan Moore. Let's do it.
Tristan Miller says, how can we establish ARV in this crazy market?
Yes, ARV, for everyone that wants to know after repair value, and that's something actually I'm hearing that it is starting to be a little wish-washy, and I understand. But I would still talk to appraisers and see what they're thinking, because it was Tyler?
Tristan.
Way off. Tristan. Yeah, Tristan, what I would do is talk to appraisers in that area, because appraisers are the ones that actually give the evaluations to the financial institutions, right? So I would talk to them and say, hey, how are you underwriting these deals? How are you coming up with these figures? Is it from comps? Is it comps 2 months ago? Is it comps I would ask them what they're doing, because every market is changing so quickly, but the appraisers still have to give appraisals every single day to the financial institution. So they have to be on the ball. They have to know what's going on. And again, it'll depend on different financial institutions will have different parameters. But again, I would ask the pros. I would ask the people that do it all day, every day. And just know that some different markets have different ways of looking at it. Keep in mind, taxes are going to start going up because the purchase prices went up. So the prices that they gave you tax-wise today might not be the one once MPAC gets access to that. So keep that in mind as well. Should I real estate with no money? Yeah, follow us, guys, if you want some advice on that. But cool. I hope to see every single one of you at www.iloveopm.com. We're going to have an awesome webinar. It's interactive. Mel and I go back and forth with chat. I like to make jokes, so I think I'm funny, but we'll see. So let's have it. Again, if you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. I love it. If you're on YouTube, please go over to TikTok at Investor Mel Dave. And if you're on TikTok, please go over to YouTube at Investor Mel Dave. I'm trying to grow both. TikTok, we're trying to get 200K by the end of the month. We've only started January 1st. Anyway, it's been amazing. And then YouTube is a little slower, so I need a little bit more help. I want to get 10,000 by, let's say, July or August. Okay, we're at 42, 43, 44.
Yeah, 43.
Ish, eh?
9.6 or something like that.
Yeah, so we're less than half, so I got to get boogieing. So, anyways, guys, yeah, thank you so much. I hope to see every single one of you at... Oh, and if you do go to the webinar, tell me, Dave, I saw you on the live on YouTube or TikTok. I like knowing that people actually make it out. Okay, thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you, TikTok. See you, YouTube. No, I don't even know how to get off this. This is where Mel usually takes the phone. End this live video.